Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday night chat, Tuesday night bull ring with TRprepper and friends. We kind of discussed a little bit beforehand. We don't have a whole lot to talk about, so we're going to wing it. I'm still waiting on it to start. So there we go. Anyway, so I'm going to let everybody do an intro, and I'm going to start with Blue823. Would you like to do an intro?
No, just thanks for the invite as always. It's good to see Rosie, Rick, and everybody out there in the chat, as well as our awesome host TR. So other than that, I've got nothing going on. Just making some final preparations for an event that I have here coming up, and that's about it.
Cool. Rick, is your 6 covered? Would you like to do an intro and say anything?
Sure. Thanks again for invite. Got quite a bit going on. Been doing quite a few videos. Go over and check those out. But other than that, I think we'll have some fun tonight as always, and can't wait to get started.
But Rosie O'Kelly, would you like to do an intro? And after you do your intro, if there's anything you want to talk about, I know we're not really prepared for tonight, but you go right ahead. And if not, we'll wing it from there.
Sure. I mean, hi, everybody. Nights that we usually don't have a lot to talk about. Sometimes we veer into the philosophical and the other stuff, which we kind of did last week. And it was I thought, one of the more interesting discussions. I've had some people message me and leave messages. There was no update for the bi-weekly eco investment update on the Rosie Murphy channel. Reason being that there's just not a lot going on right now. I think we're all kind of on tenterhooks waiting for this stock bubble to pop and the realities of the presidency to sink in for President Trump. But the really interesting feature, I think, this week has been the big slippage in the oil markets that's taken place over the last 8 days. And particularly, we went from almost $55 a barrel to a shade over $47 a barrel. Now, that's a big drop, and that has big ramifications for not only everything from the stability of the Middle East, but also the shale production regions here. And it's something that I was saying that a lot of people thought in the oil markets, we're going to have one of these bounces where, oh, well, we just had this market manipulation. We went down to $26 a barrel. Then we went up to, bounced up to $60 a barrel, and we're just going to make our way higher as they start to manipulate the market. But this is one of these things that I've mentioned. It's really beyond OPEC's control now. The oil market, so many sources of oil are out there in the world, just like there's so many sources of credit now, that OPEC doesn't really have that control over production that they used to have over there. And the cost of shale production and the fracking and all that, we're still talking about a really healthy profit margin, even in the 40s here, and there's no point in shutting it in if it's no point shutting in that production if it's even marginally profitable. So I think that's the reality that's going to face the oil market for a long time. Is it's just the supply is just too widespread now. Prices were too high for too many years. Too much innovation came into oil recovery, and it's probably going to take a decade or two for all of that to balance out, maybe in favor of a supply market again. So I thought that's the most interesting feature of what's going on lately. So I'm also cautioning people. I took some profits, and I don't have a lot in the market, as you guys know. I've been pretty, if we're in a speculative bubble, a little bit goes a long way. And, I've been down to about a 10 to 12% position, and I trimmed that in half again today down to, 6%, because I just think this market has had such a phenomenal run. And now I think some of the problems are cropping up with, we talked last week about healthcare, the end of Obamacare and the beginning of the Trump care program. I think that's going to have a lot of problems. with that. And of course, the press is having a field day because they're in there talking about the people that are going to lose coverage within 2 years under the Trump plan. And this, I think, is going to be a feature of covering President Trump for the press. It's almost, I'm starting to get this payback feel. You look at some of the newspaper headlines, and anytime they have a chance to shade something now, and I think put the worst spin on things, I think they're going to do that. And I think if you start to say something enough, people start to believe it. So I think the press's whole game is to start turning people against the Trump presidency, because they're desperate to keep holding on to those Obama days and all these social programs and all that stuff. So does anybody else, I don't know if anybody else on the panel feels like a little bit of momentum's maybe been lost. We've had a little bit of what I call diffusion. The president attacked on so many fronts, taxes and Obamacare and deregulating or stripping away regulations and removing and making it easier to do business, talking about a border tax on imports and requiring domestic produced steel to, there were so many things that were done within the first 30 days, but not much has really been accomplished yet. So it's maybe things have proceeded on too wide of a frontier. And I think he's going to find that you just have to focus on one thing at a time, and you just can't broadly move things forward. So I'm just interested if the other people on the panel or the people on the side chat have this sense that maybe we've lost some momentum, and maybe we're bogged down a little bit here with the realities of moving forward at this point.
Yeah, he has covered a lot of bases, and hell, he had me and Blue was talking earlier. Hell, he ain't even got his cabinet together yet, but he has done a lot of executive orders and trying to get stuff done to the point to where there's so much going on that there's almost nothing going on, like you said, and I see that. But he's trying. I'll give him an A for effort, and I'm looking forward to the future. We'll see where it goes. I don't believe in everything Trump says or does, but compared to what we've had, even with Bush, I didn't agree with most of what Bush done, senior or junior. So I think Trump's refreshing. He may or may not get a lot of stuff done, but he's going to put a lot of effort into it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's only been 60 days.
Yeah. Since I've been voting, I'd have to do the math. I don't know that I was able to vote for Reagan, but I know I voted for Bush Senior. Then we had Clinton. Then we had Bush Jr. So in my lifetime of voting for president, I've had shit to vote for. And Trump, good, bad, or indifferent, is different. And it's a fucking breath of fresh air.
I just worry about, I don't know, I worry a little bit about like this bugging the Trump Tower and Obama and his crew bugging that. You'll get so many free passes on something like that, and if it doesn't pan out to be true,
yeah, but there's proof of it. It might not have been. He screwed up when he said Obama done it, but there's proof that he was fucking at least put on a list to be bugged by the FISCA. What is it? FISCA orders. It's there. The proof is there. He was.
Well, we haven't had a formal investigation by the Congress and that kind of stuff about there's pretty serious accusations. And then when he brought Obama in, his name and stuff. So I'm just saying, my preference is the president just focuses on the stuff at hand and doesn't get caught up in these sideshows of what I call retribution, Hillary all the time and Obama and all that kind. You won the election. now just focus, focus on getting that.
The president technically can't fucking order somebody to be bugged. That's where he fucked up when he said that. But just like some other people out there in the comments, yeah, the FISA warrants to check Trump headquarters, those were in place. His headquarters were deemed to be bugged. That happened. So he was right in that. So CNN and all them saying, "Oh, this is all bullshit," they're full of shit. Because it did happen.
His words were, it was bugged and it was done by Obama. So,
yeah, that's where he fucked up. He shouldn't have said Obama. Yeah, he shouldn't have said Obama.
You're saying it was an order that was never, undertaken, and he's saying, well, I can provide proof that a bugging occurred. So there's a big difference between those two.
No, the bugging did happen. No, the bugging did happen. It's just that Obama, as president, cannot order somebody to be bugged. That's where he fucked up. But the Department of Defense or Homeland Security or whoever it was did bug Trump headquarters. That fucking happened. The reports are out there. It happened. So he's not wrong in that. It was just saying that.
I haven't seen anything of a governmental nature report yet. I mean, I've seen people
look up the FISA.
I mean, that's a warrant. That doesn't mean it actually happened. There was a warrant to bug, but I don't know if it actually happened. That's my point. I'm just saying he goes off the reservation a lot with things.
My fucking cell phone. My cell phone is mega data fucking stored. This son bitch right here, no matter who I call, if I call my buddy Jeff, this shit's all stored. It's all bugged. Everything's bugged. I mean, it might not be recorded and FBI fucking tracing or whatever, but anything that happens on this phone is fucking recorded, put in a fucking file. Much less somebody running for fucking president with a FISA, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, a warrant, an actual warrant to do it. That don't mean it's bugged as far as like James Bond, they put a bug under the fucking table or whatever. That just means they fucking collected the data.
Now, I've got a question, and this is about the warrant and everything. But I just looked up because I had no idea what the FISA or whatever the FISA was. It's the United States Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, also called the FISA Court, is a U.S. federal court established and authorized under the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978. It is used to oversee requests for surveillance warrants against foreign spies inside the United States by federal law. So
there was a warrant.
Yeah,
there was a warrant issue,
which makes you wonder what kind of thing was put before a judge to sign off on, because I believe a judge has to sign off to give order under that act to have somebody surveilled.
And it happened twice. It happened twice on Trump.
So you wonder what kind of information was put down. That's what I want to hear about. What led to the issuance of these warrants to surveil and that kind of thing. But my point was, I don't want us to lose focus on what we elected Trump to do. What people elected him to do was to make change and not to fight these kind of three-ring circus battles and this kind of stuff. So
I get where you're coming from. To me, maybe I'm looking at it at a different point of view or a wrong point of view. I don't know. I kind of enjoy Trump saying, fuck you. CNN, MSNBC, the liberal fucking left. I appreciate him saying, fuck you. That's what he's doing. He's saying, fuck you. And I wish he would actually come out and just say, fuck you. This is what we're going to do. Get behind it or get out of the fucking way. Because this country is going down in flames if we don't change it quick. hard and in a hurry. And you know, and it still may go down in flames, but damn it, at least fucking go down swinging. Because the debt ratio and the, you know, all that shit, it cannot be sustained. This country will fall. You know, I don't know that it can be saved, but if it can, it ain't going to be pretty. You're going to have to do it hard and dirty.
You know, I agree. I mean, mathematics argues that, you know, the writing is on the wall. That's what makes a parabolic curve. A parabolic curve, it just goes straight up at the end, and you're screwed. You know, I agree with that. I'm just saying that let's roll up our sleeves and get the job done, and get some things passed. Like we talked about last week, coupling, you know, allowing people to link the repeal of Obamacare, the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, with something to replace it has been a huge mistake. I mean, that just put the wheels in the mud right there. Instead of taking one issue at a time, now the White House is starting to allow itself to be steered by all types of special interest groups, and the hard luck stories will be coming out of the woodwork, and all that. The feel bad factor will start to enter in. So it's going to be, you only have a limited time to strike while the iron's hot.
Oh, I agree. Repeal it, period. Don't replace it with anything. That's where they're screwing up, or trying to replace it with something. Don't replace it with anything.
Yeah, just,
get rid of Obamacare. Get rid of the regulations that don't allow North Carolina to try to entice me to buy their health care. Get health care out of any business where they provide health care. Get rid of that shit and let insurance
just leave some grandfathering in existing people that are under care or whatever. And over a period of a year or two, they'll revert to the state. The state will be responsible for how they decide those people's ongoing care. Remove that from the federal table right there.
Yeah. The government should not be involved in healthcare, period.
I agree. That was the biggest disaster for pushing up the price of healthcare, just like we talked about education, home ownership, all kinds of things. The more the government tries to make things better, the worse it gets in the long run, because they're not sensitive to the economic laws of supply and demand. They have unlimited funds.
So say there's a transition, right? We get rid of that.
Yeah,
I hope they do.
You got to have some compassionate way to get people
this off, not having anything, and then finding something. Like how would that work?
That's what I'm saying. You need to have some phase out period where people are under care. You know, there's a 2-year period where the government will have a roll off where maybe they sustain or partially subsidize those policies, but then at the 2-year point, it automatically reverts to each state to take to decide what they're going to do with these cases. All this stuff should at best be on a state basis anyway. It shouldn't be on a federal. Like I said, what the hell is the federal government doing in the healthcare business and all that? Ultimately, if we ever had government out of healthcare, I mean, it's not going to happen because the size of Medicare is so huge with their unlimited taxing and borrowing ability that they just throw the whole market into you know, you can't have government people tell you, oh, that person can have an MRI, this person can't have. They got to be able to have that stuff, and they need the latest technology, the latest and the greatest. So we just have to have a way to roll people out of there and shut that thing down. Just have a termination date of, you know, January 1st, 2020 or something. Everybody's officially off of that program. So.
Yeah. If states want to do their own health care statewide, that's fine. They have the utmost.
Yeah, Matthew Carter says, I'm 36 and might not fully know what was wrong with the way healthcare was before Obamacare.
Exactly.
Well, there were big premium increases. I mean, everybody's competing against the United States government's buying ability in the marketplace here. So of course, prices is just like for college education. If somebody's willing to write the check and lend the money, suddenly a lot of uncredit worthy people are able to go to college, and the cost of college gets pushed up and it expands and it gets more expensive.
Yeah.
Same thing with healthcare. If the government can write a bigger check than the private sector, watch out, you're screwed over the long run. The government's totally insensitive to the cost of stuff. It does not matter to them if an MRI costs $100 or $10,000, because it's all borrowed money. It's just something else to be thrown on the balance sheet. But the fact that they can afford it pushes up the cost for everybody else in a competitive marketplace for that. That's the price that they can load up the system with people that can theoretically pay with the government's credit card.
Okay, and this might be a little bit unfair. I got Blue and I got Rick here. Both of you work for, I guess you would say, a state agency, or at least county. I don't know. Maybe not. Your insurance has changed that much. I don't know. Let me know. Tell me, guys.
Mine has not changed in 17 years.
Yeah, mine for the most part hasn't changed either.
Well, I can tell you, mine went to shit. It used to cost me not one fucking dime to go to the doctor. Under Obamacare, it cost me more to use my insurance and go to the doctor than it does to go to, I talked about this the other night. I can go to a doctor's office that will not accept insurance. It's cheaper for me to go there, pay them $65 for a doctor visit than it is to go to my doctor that I've had for years. It cost me $100 to go with my insurance.
Yeah. Well, we said last time that, see, in my mind, public servants, people like Rick and people like Blue, I mean, it's specifically the people you want to have. You want to be covered. You want, wages can't properly compensate them for the risks that they take on their job, and they may not come home at the end of the day, and that's fine. I mean, that's like sending people into war every day, and people don't mind paying for that. And when you get into trying to subsidize and trying to run a whole market, it just gets out of control. And like you said, TR, it becomes, everybody just has a catastrophic healthcare policy with these huge deductibles now that you're responsible for the first $5,000 of your cost per year. And then beyond that, they're going to pay like 95% or something like that. But well, hell, who's going to reach into their pocket for $5,000 every year if you're already sick and stuff like that? So the point is, everybody's been forced into these catastrophic plans here. So the system's not working for anybody. It's working even worse than it was before, because now they've just pushed the cost up to such a point that everybody just had a catastrophic plan, and it doesn't really pay much for primary care services anymore. Simple office visits. They used to be a $5 copay for Blue Crosses and Blue Shields and Health Nets and United Healthcare. Now you're talking about $2,500 deductibles a year plus $50 copays for a primary care visit. It's just, it's not working. It's not working.
It's not working. I got my insurance card is still got the sticker on it. When I got it in January to call the number to authorize the card and let them know I got the card, I still hadn't called the fucking number because I don't give a shit. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have insurance, because after I spend the $5,000, then they pay 80%. And I'm still responsible for the 20%. Yeah. It's fucking worthless. It's a piece of shit fucking, and that was like, that's the best I can fucking get.
Yeah,
it's shit. It is nothing. I have nothing. I declared bankruptcy with insurance when my wife was sick. Just because you got insurance does not mean you have health care. It's bullshit.
Even worse. It's even worse now. So,
but here's something funny. My brother, EMT rail fan, I don't know where he found it at, but this is from McKeesport Hospital in McKeesport, PA. And it was from the date of February 4th of 1943. And it is a record of Eleanor, I think, Davis. And from what I'm seeing, she went in to have a baby, to have a baby delivered. This is what it breaks down to. Board in nursing, $10.50. Delivery room, $10. Anesthetic, $5. Laboratory exams, $3. Drugs, $1. In 1943, to have a baby at McKeesport Hospital was $29.50.
Well, remember, there was no government involved in medical care. And also, you had a lot more charity. You had a lot more nuns. You had a lot more religious institutions that ran and staffed big hospitals and stuff. And especially in big cities, and all those nuns and things kind of faded away over the years. A lot of charity hospitals closed down. That used to be a big element in Baltimore, where I grew up, was a lot of charity care. But you know, there wasn't this, we didn't have this emphasis on extending life at any cost back then. There wasn't that push in medicine to, well, like you see these cancer drugs come on the market for lung cancer now, and it can extend your life by 3 months, but it costs, you know, $10,000 a month for this treatment. And you have to kind of think to yourself, you know, what kind of quality of life are you going to have extending that? We didn't have that. You know, when I was growing up, there wasn't really that. It was a different focus in healthcare. It was, you did the best you could, but you didn't go crazy on things. But we've allowed technology to sort of push ahead, and with the government out there to buy the latest and greatest, the private sector has to compete and buy that shit too and put it into hospitals. And
well, hospitals got to be a for-profit organization when they really wasn't. It's not that they didn't make money and doctors didn't make good money, and they should, but it became a mega business of having a hospital.
well, then we get to the whole scam about nonprofits and stuff. Nonprofits doesn't mean that people aren't living well on the money that's coming in. See, nonprofit when I grew up meant a lean and mean organization where you had a good mix of volunteers and you had a very slim executive department with a few people that just made a normal wage. You look at some of the wages of some of these Anthem Blue Cross and some of these organizations, and Aetna, and these guys are fabulously paid. They have huge departments that just work on compliance and getting credentialing. I mean, it's a whole 1/3 of your healthcare dollar goes to support people like me that just push paper around all day and make sure stuff gets paid. I mean, we didn't have that. We didn't have that big infrastructure of medicine before. But because the government came in with an unlimited checkbook, that's what upset the whole balance of the market, that all of a sudden you had a payer that could afford, it was insensitive to whatever something cost. It didn't matter. You presented the latest and greatest technology, and the government would be like, yeah, okay, we're compassionate, we'll cover that, you know, we'll buy that. And then the private sector has to keep up with that, and that private sector hospitals have to load up with that technology, and all that shit's got to be paid for. And it's all supported 1/3 of the cost. It's not even delivering medicine. I mean, it's outrageous.
But now I hate to interrupt, but just because something says nonprofit doesn't mean shit.
Exactly. These people have high salaries. Exactly. Plenty of perks. Yeah.
I can tell you from South Carolina, just South Carolina. I don't know the rest of the nation, but South Carolina, any private bar you go to, if it's private, it's a nonprofit organization. That's the only way you can have a private bar in South Carolina. I'm a member of a fucking strip club that's a nonprofit organization. I guarantee you they're making fucking money. The business might not be, but the manager's making fucking money. The fucking everybody else is making money. My dad had a private bar. I was treasurer. You know, he was a fucking manager and blah, blah, blah. The company made no fucking money, but he made a lot of money as a manager.
Yep. That's why non-profit's been a cover for ridiculous salaries that equal the private sector, and because it has that nonprofit label over it, the public has a feel-good factor about it. Well, they're not making money; they're just providing a service at what it costs. So it's this cloak of this cloak of invisibility for what the hell is really going on. So, I mean, that's the nonsense of the whole nonprofit. And I see it every day with federally qualified health facilities. If you're set up as a federally qualified health facility, which we're not because we don't believe in it, then you can get triple the reimbursement rate if you see a Medicaid patient in a non-federally qualified health facility. So what do people do? They set up federally qualified health facilities that have a rubber stamp board that meets once every 3 months, and you're able to bill out and receive the triple the rate that a non-qualified clinic does. So you see this stuff going on all the time that takes advantage of what the government's allowing people to do, and especially it got much worse under Obama's cash giveaways for clinics and all that kind of shit. Yeah, it's unreal, Linda. It's absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. And the money that flowed the last 2 years, particularly in the Obama administration, has been beyond belief to the medical clinics and stuff, which we've been recipients of that, but not for triple billings and things like that, but certainly incentives to get people covered, because one of the big problems is there was a 50% surge in patients in 2 years. There wasn't a 50% surge in doctors and nurses to take care of them. So that was a mess.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything that's been said. I mean, it's the side chat has covered it, that it's, and I know we've covered it before, you know, it's a damn shame when somebody that has no job, has been a career welfare recipient, is a absolute criminal, gets better health care than somebody that's, you know, at least trying, working to, you know, better themselves. And
yep,
that's the government for you.
Well, we're creating a crop of dependent people. That's why you prep. That's exactly why you prep, though, because this shit can't go unchecked in an economy. It's just we're not productive enough to carry the equivalent of the equivalent of New England on disability. I mean, how you have to carry that. Now, a lot of people deserve that. You know what I'm saying? That's a big cost for workers to bear, and for the productive people in society to carry that along. And then we talk about, you know, Trump and tax cuts, and we figure that, and it just 2 and 2 just starts to equal 7, and it's just you know, it's a weird world.
Maybe that's why they're trying to teach everybody Common Core math. So they're like, yeah, it must be right.
Yep.
I'm saying.
I put this number in a box. I put this number in a box. And I'll tell you, there for the longest time, I didn't think my kids were doing Common Core math. I really didn't. Boy, was I fucking wrong. I have no idea what the hell they're doing. It's like multiply 9 times 4. And I'm like, okay, done. 36. Well, how did you get that, Dad? I'm like, I know it. I memorized flashcards. We had little catchy songs. We had
right on. Yeah.
No, we're not allowed to know it. We have to show how we get to it. It's like, what the fuck? If you know it, you know it.
Well, it's J. Gray Campbell said, well, yes, Rosie, but it depends on how long workers work before needing disability. My thing, Greg, is there's not one person on this chat, there's not one person in the side chat that would like to see anybody denied disability that's entitled to disability. That's what we work for. I don't mind paying into to the disability program, but what I don't like was the sudden explosion of 10 years ago that suddenly the number of people that was allowed to be covered, you know, under this, what would you call, more compassionate administrations and judges and stuff, all of a sudden the numbers exponentially exploded. And the word got out that it's a lot easier to get approved for disability now, and the game was on. And this is the only thing I'm concerned about. I don't begrudge anybody disability, but I do begrudge people that work their ass off to get on disability so they don't have to be productive, and that's all they want to do. I mean, we get people with feigned bullshit, made up bullshit all the time, day in and day out. You have to send all their records to Social Security, and you know it's a big freaking joke when you're doing it.
Well, isn't that kind of the end game? I mean, where they want everybody dependent on the government in one way or another. I mean, they need
somebody's got to pay the damn bill. I mean, there's the scales, the scale, so nobody will get it.
That's the end game, is it not? I mean, is that not what they want? I mean, the country crippled, and
well, I don't want to be in a country where. Well, I don't know. I mean, does that work for anybody? I don't know. I'll be glad to have my small arms. I'll tell you that.
I mean, if half the country is dependent, on the other half to pay them to live, don't that put all of us under the thumb of the government?
I just worry we reach a tipping point where the half that's working says, "What's the fucking point? What's the fucking point? I might as well just stay in bed and watch Jerry Springer. You know, why should I go to work? You know, what's the fucking point?" And then all of a sudden the whole country's just fucked. You know, everybody's like, game over. You know?
Yeah, but the people in power will still be in power.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. Is that not the fucking end game? Fucking goal of the people in power.
Yeah,
my end game is prepping. That's my end game. So
I'm just saying. I mean, you know, let me get my goddamn fucking tinfoil hat out, you know, and we're just gonna fucking talk about this shit. I'm telling you, this is what they want. My Dixie cup. I got tinfoil on it.
There you go. I thought you were representing Turkey tonight or something.
No, just my Navy Dixie cup.
The mufti, grand mufti of Istanbul.
Oh, that's what that is. So there's actually a hat under there.
I'm just saying, because there does reach a point where society just says, "What's the point?" You know, there's no. It's hopeless. It's just ridiculous, and I'm not against medicinal marijuana if it serves a purpose, but I see people just going in droves now, compared to 20 years ago. Just a lethargy among young people and stuff, and it's frightening to me.
Well, in disability, I got a friend that hurt himself.
But you pay into disability. That is not a what do they call it? Shit. It's not welfare.
The employer pays into disability. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's paid for. You know, disability is not a God damn, I can't think of the fucking term right now. It's not welfare. It's not food stamps.
There is a cost to the employer because disability rates are adjusted according to industries and injuries and claims filed within injuries for disabilities. And, you know, a steel worker is going to have a much higher disability pay in his employer than say a office worker that's just doing clerical work every day. There's going to be a big difference in the rates that are paid into that system, and it's something that the employee doesn't pay, but the employer pays that, and it's not really an entitlement per se. It's a cost of doing business on the business side. I just want to see people get what they're fairly entitled to, and not not turn into a big scam.
What? Okay, somebody finally put it right. Yeah, because it's been a long day. Had a few beers. Entitlement. It's not an entitlement. Social Security is not an entitlement. Your retirement as a military serviceman is not a fucking entitlement. You paid into that shit. You earned that. That's not a fucking entitlement. Food stamps, welfare, Section 8 housing. That's a fucking entitlement that you don't fucking deserve. And I don't support it whatsoever. I know it's not going to make that big a difference in the debt level. But if you keep somebody up,
well, it will make a difference. See, this is thing on a very micro case by case basis. If the government's willing to subsidize Section 8 housing, they're competing in a fixed market against the private sector that needs to have rental accommodations too. But because their checks they write have no pain to them, because they have infinite taxing and borrowing ability, they don't care how much they have to pay for rental for a Section 8 subsidy. Imagine if those subsidies were gone, you can bet your ass the cost of rentals and housing would go down a lot because people would be forced to double up and to make do more with families and you know, depend on families instead of being lone rangers out there with Section 8 housing.
Yeah.
But once again, because the government has that unlimited check, it upsets the balance of the natural supply and demand of the marketplace.
And if you talk to most, because I mean, with the work I'm in, of course, 9 times out of 10, if we're going somewhere, it's either the house that was robbed or the guy's house that robbed the other house, which is always the subsidized housing. HUD is what, I don't know if they call it that everywhere, but here in PA it's called HUD. And you talk to these slumlords, and it's like, why the hell are you running to these people? Have you been in that house for the last 2 fucking years? Do you realize that the wall is full of holes, that the pipe has been leaking for the last however God knows how long, and there's mold everywhere? They don't care because it's a guaranteed check.
Yeah. And who cares? Because if they don't rent it to that person, the next person will take it coming along, and they'll keep their mouth shut, and they won't bitch about the holes in the wall, and they'll be glad to have the roof over that. But see, the free market wouldn't work that way. People would bitch. You'd never be able to get that thing rented unless it was brought up to some standard of livability. So it's just a more case of just funny money, just upsetting the whole system for the sake of being compassionate, quote unquote, and helping. That's what bothers me, that helping. You know, like Reagan says, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help, right? The scariest words in America. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's people that need help. There's people that truly deserve help, and I have no problem helping those. But when you see somebody on fucking food stamps getting fucking T-bone steaks, and you know they're getting $400 to $500 a month in food stamps to feed their family, and they're buying steaks and shit that I can't even afford.
Because it's another imbalance in the market. They're not sensitive to the realities of what it costs to earn $1 to pay for those steaks and stuff, because they didn't. It's the same thing. Why should you upkeep rental housing? Who cares? You're not paying for government free housing. What do you care?
The biggest one that I see, that, I mean, and this pisses me off. And if people are buying food, they're buying food. You don't need to buy top dollar food. The ones that piss me off are the people that have the PA access card. They'll walk up in line and they'll get I don't know how much Big Red gum is anymore. It's probably up to like 75 cents or something now. They'll fucking have the cashier scan that, swipe their fucking access card, ask for $20 back. They get $20 back, and then they buy fucking cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, so it's true. And it's like TR said, what do you care? Buy the T-bone steak, you know, what the hell do you care? It's just, it's like monopoly money you got in your hand. Who cares? You know, the steak is real, the money's fake. Grab it, you know. They're not stupid. Get the real deal. Mm-hmm. Get the best of the best.
And you see what type of, and I hate to generalize, but you see what type of people these individuals are, because what was it, New York, either last year or the year prior, where the EBT system went down, and it was like unlimited fucking money, and they wiped out fucking supermarkets all along in New York because it was, oh, well, we can take advantage of this. You know what? Those fuckers should have been arrested immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, I don't mind helping somebody that's down and out, and I don't have any problem with my tax money helping somebody down and out. But when you set up a system to where you provide a system that people don't have to try, they don't have to work, they don't have to fucking put forth any effort, and will keep you up for the rest of your life.
Now let's take it one step further, TR. Suppose you're raised multiple generations now. You see the world differently than a TRprepper sees the world, that goes out and gets a paycheck and gets up early in the morning to go to work, or maybe works second or third shift. You've grown up in the reality that you think this is the way it's supposed to be, and somebody's taking away something from you that you're rightfully supposed to have. And this is why people turn out in the streets and protest, because they think that something's getting taken away from them that they're owed for being just existing in this country. This is the problem. You see the economy and life one way, they see it a totally different way. And the sad reality is they think they're right. You know, they think that they're exactly right, that the government's working for them, as they would say. Yeah, government's supposed to work for me. So you have two people that are looking at things, and they both think that they're correct, that that's the way it should be.
Yeah. These people, they need arrested. I mean, that's not all of them. I agree with TR. If you need help, by God, we're going to help you. The vets, the people that were actually working that injured themselves to the point where they really can't work anymore. And I'd even go as far as to say, I don't even know the correct terminology anymore, the mentally handicapped. You know, there's a lot of mentally handicapped people that can work at McDonald's, that can work at a grocery store checkout, stocking shelves. They don't need as much help, but yeah, we can still help them out. Absolutely. It's these goddamn people that have made a legacy throughout their family.
Right on, Blue.
Yeah. You know, you have fucking me, who I own a house. Actually, I own two houses because this is such a great scam. I own a house. I'm technically not married. I've got 3 kids to 1 woman. She lives in my rental house. HUD pays me for her to live there. Some other government agency pays her because...
That'd be too much information, Blue. Be careful.
Oh, no, this isn't true. But I mean, but it happens. This absolutely.
Yeah, it's called scamming the system. It's exactly, you're just taking advantage of the way to see, you're being smart. You know, you're a smart consumer of government services. And I think, you know, the point I'm making, when you have people seeing government 2 different ways, this is why I think Trump was elected, to grab people by the hair and shake them, or grab them by their head, rattle their brains, and say, this is not the way, we can't go on with this. This is bullshit. And I think this is what people wanted to see Trump change, this mentality, this entitlement mentality, because I can pick up a protest sign and hit the street. I'm entitled to all this stuff. You're not. You're not productive. You're not putting anything into this country. All you're doing is taking out. And this is why people want to see Trump change this mentality and break this chain of dependence. And the border issue, that's right. The border issue and this whole fucking scam of government being the mom and pop of the whole generation after generation. Go fucking do something.
Even though he hadn't got a lot done, the latest stat I've seen is the border crossing has decreased by 40% because, you know, the free ride is, people are seeing that, hey, maybe it's not the free ride we thought it was. You know, shut the border down, shut the fucking, shut all this damn
shut
free
it down.
Government shit down. There's no reason in hell that a fucking refugee or immigrant can get food stamps or a fucking Section 8 housing, and you got fucking veterans that can't get shit, can't get anything.
Or we have the DREAM Act in California. If you're an illegal alien, you can apply, and the state will pay for you to go to college at the UC. You know, I mean, come on. You got kids that are competing their asses off, you know, paying regular tuition and shit, hoping that they get in there. And then, how do you think they feel, families, when they see free rides of people that aren't even legally supposed to be here getting, because of the DREAM Act, getting a free ride?
I'll give you a prime example. There was some girl that was going to Clemson University and here in South Carolina when Trump first did his, you know, suspension of refugees coming in. It blocked her from coming back. She was in Iran visiting family. She had a free ride, total fucking free ride. They paid my tax money, your tax money, paid for her college education to Clemson University. She's not even a citizen of the United States. She's on a visa class 2 visa. Yeah. And since she was on this visa, hey, we'll pay for your fucking college education. Fuck you. No. I don't agree with that. I don't give a shit who that offends. That's not right. We shouldn't be paying for foreigners a full fucking scholarship with our tax money just because they're from another fucking country. I don't give a shit. Fuck her. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
fuck
that's
her.
What I'm saying. That's why things are going to get bloody and things are going to get ugly, because people aren't going to willingly go along with the program because they think that they're right and you're wrong. So that's going to be the reality. It's going to be, you're going to have to break a few eggs to make an omelet with this whole thing. So this is what you got to look forward to. Either we go off the cliff or we change shit.
1 minute. We got to talk guns. Glock, Remington, shotguns, ammo, big tits, grab them in the pussy. Okay, now we can move on to the same stuff again.
I got to get it. I'll be right back.
I got to throw a gun in there once in a while. Holy shit.
You lost me at Glock. Even though I have a Glock, you lost me at Glock.
What's your favorite gun?
Just because I carry it don't mean it's a fucking favorite gun.
Oh, you love that gun. You sleep with that thing.
Easy 75.
I had to lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, it was getting too serious. There we go. We'll break it.
I'm like, we've been on here an hour and we haven't said one gun yet. I'm like, okay, this shit's got to stop.
All right, I showed you my AK lately with a Bakelite magazine.
Nice.
That was a gift. I know a lot of people seen it. Unfortunately, I don't have these loaded. There, look, 2 of them. Check that shit out.
Ba-boom.
Ba-boom. It will be at Farmageddon for anybody to use that wants to use it. Mac 90, the last imported, from what I understand, the last imported, fully assembled gun imported into the United States. Any AK you buy in the United States now, I don't care if it says Romanian, Polish, or whatever, they have to assemble it and put American parts in it. This is all foreign, all Chinese. Everything. Trigger, everything.
Does it say made in China on the side of it?
Oh, yeah, it's Norinco.
Oh. Little Coda boy. Him and his such a Glock lover. I can't believe it.
There's Pops out there. You political assholes are really upsetting me. Hey, Rob, no, you don't want to see Albert shooting something like that. Oh, yeah, I know. My big boob. Sorry, AZ. I'll tone him down next time. Sorry. It was so warm today. It was 80 degrees here. My bad. My bad.
Where's the spray bottle?
I seen a report today. I mean, it really wasn't a report. I reposted it. That if you grab a set of boobs, it will reduce your stress level by 70%.
I believe that.
I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, what'd you put on there? I saw your
results may vary.
Yeah, results may vary.
Okay, JB, sorry about that. It's not the boobs, it's the nipples. Okay. Oh, you guys are too much out there. But at least we're all kind of on the same page about stuff. I kind of like that. That's what I want to see the president do. These hard things to take the hits and to take the to take the hits and get it done. Stand up and say screw that.
Yeah,
he's replacing some of these judges. I think this guy in New York that thought he was going to be carried over the appeals, one of these justices on Wall Street, or he wouldn't give up. Yeah, so he fired him. That's his right to have the people in the federal prosecutors' offices that he wants to have in.
I think it's going to take a good year before we really see where Trump's go, because like I said, he doesn't have a cabinet picked yet or approved yet. There, like Blue said, hell, he's only been in there in what, 60 days or less. I mean, come on. And all these snowflakes are
Well,
fucking
I mean,
freaking out.
you look at what Roosevelt got done in 100 days and stuff. Of course, the times were much more, it was scary times back then with banks in full collapse and all that. But I'm just saying, the earlier you get it done, the better. You don't have a lot of time for resistance to start up and to the opposition to get formed and organized. The longer things take, the more. Even some of these Republicans are kind of waffling. They're not so much on.
Yeah, they're still fucking lifelong politicians, and your McCain's and Lindsey Graham's. I mean, you got to fucking overlook them, but the other ones, they're still used to the old game, and I think a new game's being put out there. And they need to fucking wake up, because we'll fucking get rid of them too.
Yeah, like Linda said, you want to know why Trump doesn't have a full administration? Because he's not part of either of the parties. Exactly. I mean, he's carving out this niche, so it's very easy to get buried if you're the president. That's the danger. The whole thing is there's a lot of Republicans that aren't crazy about Trump either. So I'm nervous that he could end up being buried by both sides. So gotta grab it quick and use the bully pulpit to get people voting. Say, here's why. See, I come in and try to do shit, and I'm blocked right off the bat by Senator X, Y, Z. Call their offices, put pressure on these guys, tell them they're holding up the program. He's got to. That's the stuff that Trump does and does well.
Go ahead, Rick.
Linda put a good point out there. She says, why Trump doesn't have a full administration? Because he's not part of any party establishment, so he doesn't have access to the bullpen of all party employees. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, she's got a lot of great points out there. So, but you got some Republicans they got their fingers up in the wind all the time trying to feel if this Trump ship's going to hit an iceberg or not. And they want to be able to jump for the life raft real quick. In other words, they don't have balls. They don't have the courage to stand up for what's right in this country. They're just, it's all about the next election, and make sure if shit goes bad that they're not on the wrong side of the equation. So, yeah, we need more like Trey Gowdy. Exactly, 100% correct. That's our hero in Congress is Trey Gowdy. Yeah, that's Jen's hero.
We got Lindsey Graham that we're fucking embarrassed about in South Carolina, but at the same time, we do have Trey Gowdy, and I love Gowdy.
I guess he's unbelievable. We need to clone him, make about 15 of him.
Yeah, Trump is as good as Reagan at going to public and pressuring other elected officials. Just get out there and do it. Just call them. You're great at calling companies out. Start calling some of these politicians and say, this isn't why you elected me, to have this turd from North Dakota hold it all up. Get them the hell out of there.
There was a big push to get Lindsey Graham out, and unfortunately he won out. But I think it's just because you got a lot of old timers that just go straight. They see a name that they know and they vote. And when Lindsey did win the election, he only won like 44% of the vote or something like that. And he thought it was a good thing. And it's like, no, there was a big push to get you out of office. We just lost, but close to getting rid of your ass.
Yeah, like Pop's Quest says, like to see a death match between Gowdy and Lindsey Graham. I'd like to see that too.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, don't give a fuck. I love seeing Gowdy. I've posted many runouts or whatever you want to call it with Gowdy in the position he is. He didn't want a presidential appointment because he thought he could do more good where he was at.
Absolutely, positive.
Right.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's breathtaking to see him. To see somebody that intelligent, that well-spoken, it just makes mincemeat out of assholes, either under investigation or in Congress or other idiots that show up. And he's a big reason Clinton lost too, Trey Gowdy, and some of some of his explorations and explanations of all of Clinton's bullshit.
Yeah, he called out that senator or representative or whatever he was. This is the same idiot that asked a general that, hey, if you got too many prisoners there, will the island capsize? Literally, this is what this fucking idiot said. He's an elected official. And he was questioning somebody about something, and he would ask him a question and he wouldn't let him answer, and Gowdy cut him off and said, no, let him answer. Boom. And the idiot, the fucking retard that got elected in whatever state it was, that thought an island could capsize. Anyway, Gowdy says, no, if you ask the question, he gets the right to answer, so shut up. You know?
And he took major offense to that. He's like, he kept trying to still interrupt the whole way through that interview, saying,
well, you know what I'm talking about.
Is it recognized that you are able to interrupt me while I'm doing my questioning? And I mean, he wouldn't shut the fuck up. And it got annoying because the question was basically, do you need an armored patrol vehicle for patrolling the borders for illegal immigrants, is what it came down to. That's what the question was about. It was a sheriff for somebody in that area. And it was like, holy crap, dude, let him, because I mean, he was like, no, we do not need an armored vehicle for everyday patrols. However, and as soon as he started that, it was like, you've asked and answered. I'm moving on to my next question. It's like, let him actually answer the fucking question.
Yeah, Gowdy, he didn't take no shit. Yeah, that was the one I posted. I was like, he don't take shit from retards, even if they are elected.
I'm just saying he's very intelligent. You take him on at your own risk. I mean, you can look like a real fool, going toe to toe. He can make it look like a real asshole. He made the Clinton crew look like a bunch of real idiots when a lot of stuff came down with all their shenanigans and crap with the, her computer and her server and all that kind of shit. So, but it's people like McCain too. This guy's got no business being in. What's his deal? I mean, he's just lost it. I mean, I don't know. I could say I'm not gonna. I'll be respectful of a senator, but I'm just saying. This guy's got to go.
Fuck him. Fuck McCain. Fuck McCain and Lindsey Graham. I don't give a shit. Those two motherfuckers need to go away. They are not the Republicans that represent me. Not that I'm a Republican. I consider myself a libertarian, but I normally vote Republican.
Like Linda said, that McCain needs to switch parties. Correct. He's in the wrong party.
Yep. I mean, the Republicans were having a filibuster, and McCain and fucking Lindsey Graham were having a beer with Obama. Fuck them. Get the fuck out of the way. Go away.
Yeah, his wife is free with his mind.
But just like California keeps fucking electing Pelosi, that crazy bitch.
Well, you can understand that. You can understand that in San Francisco. You can understand why San Francisco. I mean, it's not surprising there, but I'm just saying. But in Arizona, to have a guy that's so far off the reservation like McCain, it's hard to suck that down. I'll tell you, it's really tough. You can understand because at least you know where Pelosi stands 100%. But McCain, wow.
Well, same thing with Lindsey Graham, South Carolina. I mean, it's not uncommon to see fucking Dixie flags, the fucking, flying around on pickup trucks, and somehow we still voted for Lindsey Graham. It's disgusting. I'm embarrassed.
Where'd that all come from? Charleston and places like that?
Yep. Yeah, the lower part of the state is
low country vote down there.
Yeah, a lot of immigrants from up north.
Yeah.
And down in Charleston area, it's real blue down there.
How funny though is it? How funny is
Surprised y'all let him in.
about
I'm surprised y'all let him in.
how funny is it to see them fleeing the United States, running to Canada with the Border Patrol agents chasing them? Who the I would have never guessed in a million years I would have ever witnessed that, but there's video after video after video, and it's like, holy crap, that's
What,
awesome.
of Americans running to Canada?
No. The illegals that are here that are fleeing America to go to Canada.
Perfect. What's funny is TR says, yeah, all the illegal aliens from up north, and I'm like, I've never heard that shit before. It's always from south.
Well, I didn't say illegal. I just said immigrants, period. Immigrants from like New York and
Got it.
Northerners coming down here. Or Californians moving to North Carolina. Same shit.
Same shit. Same exact thing.
They want to come to a free state, and then they want to turn a free state into a communist
that's what
state.
I'm saying. Be careful, y'all let everybody in.
The only thing I'd turn it into is a suppressor-free land. Everybody would have to have a suppressor and full auto.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. You're an exception to the rule.
I mean, look at the way Arizona's almost being tipped. I mean, there's, like it was what do they call it, in play state in the election and shit. I mean, Nevada, blue, red. I mean, it's you get infiltrated enough, and you flip over to the blue side.
Even parts of Texas are a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you imagine? Yeah, Arizona, I think, is the top state for gun laws.
That's pretty good.
When you say top state for gun laws, what do you mean, Rick?
I mean, a great place to live if you like shoot.
Oh, okay, all right. Because the way you said it sounded like it's restrictive as shit, and I know.
No, it's like
no. It's very liberal, not liberal, but very gun friendly. Open carry, blah blah blah. But I think Wyoming might even. I don't know. I don't know what their carry laws are. I think Wyoming is one of those states where if a full automatic machine gun is made, you can buy it there without a federal license.
Wow.
Yeah, so there is
some. Well, I know even some states, surprised like Connecticut. My friend has a carry permit, and New Hampshire, being the live free or die. There's a few states that surprise you about open carry and other things.
North Carolina's open carry state.
Oklahoma's open carry. I'm not surprised about that. No, you can't carry. I told you in California, you're supposed to be issuing permits here, and our city of Santa Rosa police chief and our county sheriff say you can apply, come on down and get a permit, but there's no law that says I have to process these applications. So what they do is just stack up on the desk there. That's it. They don't move, but they don't move forward at all. So
yeah, there's a difference between shall issue or can issue. I forget what the definition is, but
the court said that you have to these people should be allowed to have these things, but they didn't specify how long the process had to take. So of course, things being the way they are, they just stack up on the desk there, so nobody gets a permit for anything.
Yeah. See, that's fucked up about California.
That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. Yeah, that's really messed up.
And in South Carolina, I can't open carry, but I do have a concealed weapon permit. I forget how the definition is, if it's shall issue or will issue, but they don't deny. If you pass the test or you go through the course, boom, you got a permit. Period.
Yep, that one lady.
Yep. I just got my new one in a week or two ago. expire.
Is yours laminated paper?
No, mine looks just like a driver's license.
See, in North Carolina, it's a cheap ass. I went from California, which was like a driver's license, thumbprint on it, and had what you could carry and the serial numbers.
I'll get it. I'll show you.
And then this one. Let's see what I can show and not show here. But it's basically just a piece of paper with the, the plastic shit on it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are even talking about. I've never owned one of those.
Well, you're a fucking cop. No wonder.
Listen, copper.
Let me see. Let me see if I can do this without. Let me show. There you go. There's my concealed weapon.
We all know where you live too.
Yeah, all y'all do.
That's way cooler than.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks just like a license.
California's all fancified their driver's license.
And what's crazy? Another thing crazy, getting on politics a little bit. All this talk about voters, ID Act and all that shit. In South Carolina, your voter registration has your picture on it.
Mm.
You can either show your voter registration or you can show your driver's license. You have to show your fucking ID. You can show your voter registration fucking picture on it. So it can't say some bullshit name and somebody else's picture on it and you get to vote. No. They eliminated that in South Carolina. It's like, no, if you want to vote, you got to show your driver's license, a state ID, or your voter registration, which all have your fucking picture on it. I don't see what the big issue is with that.
No, of course not. Normal thinking people think that's normal. That you should be able to prove that. I mean, you got to show your ID to buy beer. You got to, you can't even show your fucking ID to vote. Come on, this is how so much bullshit happened in elections and things with fraud. Vote early, vote often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my grandma this year, last year, she voted for freaking Clinton. I mean, I was like, what the hell? I mean, she's been dead for 15 years.
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
You don't mean Bill. Shit.
There's so much shit going on in the chat. I can't keep up.
Actually, TR, before we move on to a different subject or stay on the same one, I do have a question because I'm actually very interested in this. For the people, like right now, we have 62 watching. But what I'd like to know, and I would really encourage people that like download this chat and listen to it on their way to or from work. I just want them to, in the comments, just say, like they listen to it as a podcast, say something to the effect of, I don't listen live, but I watch it in podcast form, just something like that in the comments of it. So once they download it and listen to it, they'll come back and make a comment, because I'd actually be really interested to see how many, hits these chats get live versus podcast form.
Well, how you can do that. When the chat ends, you'll see the number of viewers on it, and come back 2 days later, the number of views, and compare. That'll give you the live versus the who's watching in day 2, day 3, day 4, and so on.
Oh, okay.
The number count goes up all week as people will click it on and sit there while they're doing something else and listen to the chats and things.
Yeah, I've had these chats hit 1,000. On average, they're probably in the 350 range. Sometimes the lowest is usually about 225 to 250. So at least 250 people, if not 500 people, bounced in and watched a few minutes of it, or listened to a few minutes of it and bounced out. Later on, that number grows, just like Rosie says. Like right after this is over with, it'll probably be about 250, 300. But a week or two later, it'll be more than that. So a lot of people do the live
Well,
number.
if you like it,
Right.
it's like Linda said, this chat all that value. Tell people to hit the share button too.
Yeah, share it.
Let people
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
do a video, do a video about the chat. Let people know about the chat. Let your subscribers know.
Bobby's
Like I said, like 63 people watching right now, but even with that, there's probably been, 80 people that bounced in and out, so
Yeah.
So that number is kind of a little bit misleading. But as soon as it's over, I guarantee you it'll be 200 something people. And then, like you said, a week or two later, it'll be more than that.
hopefully.
Go Pop.
Well, I mean, people do. I've had many people contact me through personal messages, and they're like, "Yeah, I listen to it, as much as I can on the way home from work or the way to work." They're like me; they got a 30, 45-minute drive to work, and they'll pop it on because you don't have to see the chat because it's not a visual chat. I mean, we are here. You see us talking. You see me smoking, drinking a beer, whatever. But you don't have to see that to understand what's going on in the chat, because it's all talk. It's pretty much a podcast. It's just that you can see us talking. So you don't have to see it to listen to it. And a lot of people do that. I've had many, many people contact me and say, yeah, I listen to your chat on the way to work or whatever, And that's
there
cool.
you go.
I
Live
appreciate
chat from Farmageddon. That'll be good.
I think we can do it. I think Pops has done it from there before.
Yeah, he's been shooting rounds out a fucking window during a chat before. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, Saturday night live chat.
Shit, I can't wait to see the videos that come out from down there.
Shit, I can't wait to make them.
I know that, Rick. You want to show off and get down there again.
No, I want to shoot.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't shot the shotgun and the pistol in forever. Or the rifle, I mean.
And I hadn't practiced any. I'm going down there cold. I might try to do a little bit of practice before I go. But
Parless watches it while making love.
Yeah, you got Greg coming down there 4 months. He's going to be a South Carolina resident.
Greg Campbell?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I'm sorry for you guys.
Poor Greg.
he's originally from South Carolina, so
yeah, he's got enough problems moderating my chats on Saturday night.
Sounds like it's going to be sooner.
Yeah, I think he said he can't wait to get home again.
Bizarriza Gizza says, for those not attending, will be available for bail money. We're way out in the woods. You ain't got to worry about us getting arrested. We might fall down drunk in a ditch or something, but at the end of the day,
we might blow something up and hurt somebody. But
yeah, there you go, Pops. Finally, a cool fucker moving down there. There you go.
That's right.
Enough of those North Carolina guys.
Another South Crackalacky.
No, Rosie, I don't remember if I asked you this last week or not. Do you see within the next 6 months, roughly, let's just put out 6 months to 8 months, do you see silver and gold prices, and it just real quick, I mean, just a real quick answer. Do you see it staying the same, keeping bumping up steadily, or do you foresee a drop?
For me, Blue, the fact that it stayed up at this level for so long without really giving up much ground makes me believe that the next move will be a big one, and it'll probably be on the upside. Is it going to be within 6 months? I'm not sure. I think it'll probably be within the end of the year. I just feel like we're gathering our power for the next big move, and it looks like the silver and gold market is just sitting there waiting for the dominoes to start to tumble, whatever's going to happen here. It could be, you know, I'm hearing talk about Italy now, and Italian things are starting to come a cropper there. So the reality is, yeah, I expect this will be the year that things start really percolating in the silver and gold market again.
So your thing is buy it now because you foresee.
Yeah, I've just been steadily accumulating year in and year out. I did what's called a dollar cost average. You just put the same money in every month. You don't get the best. Sometimes you get a great price. Sometimes you pay a little more, but over time you'll get a good average price. And you just do that and just a regular saving program. And I think it's inevitable. It's just going to step up to a higher level over time. And I think it's probably going to be this year. I don't see this market moving much beyond this year. Whatever bubbles here, I think is going to play out this year. And we could have a really hard come down here from this market. The expectations are so high here, and the reality may be something different.
Okay. Yeah, because my brother and I, we were having a discussion the other day, and he's very hopeful that the gold and silver is going to actually drop very soon, and he wants to do a pretty big buy, which I'm all for it. But I'm kind of like you. I've seen where it's been 2 years, 3 years where it's been running.
Yeah, and that's actually not a bad thing. I mean, the longer something goes sideways, the more the eventual move is when it moves out of that. It tends to mirror. You can take the length of it is sideways, and you can project that upward or downward, and you get a very, very, very large move when it starts to move out of that area. But I just think it makes more sense not to do a big drop at one time, but just every month or every week, just put the same amount in, the same dollars in, and then you get a good average price over time. You get a good average cost. The thing is, how is it holding up with oil? And it's holding up pretty well. You know, oil's had a big, it's had a 15, almost 18% drop in the last 8 days, and gold and silver have held up pretty well. So there's some independent thing holding them up, and I think that's central banks that are buying, like India and other places, are consistently just putting aside silver and gold, because I think they just see the inevitable of what's coming one day, and they want to make sure that they're in a really strong position when it comes to a new currency or whatever, that they got something in their treasury.
Okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
Going for it, huh? Going big?
Well, it's one of those things where, I mean, he's planning on going, I think, relatively big. I don't want to speak for him. It's just one of those things where if I had the opportunity, I would, but the funds are never there. I mean, it's like, I agree with kind of what Rosie was saying, where you set a couple bucks back from paycheck to paycheck and then just buy.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. And then you just be surprised how much you accumulate over time with just a good, steady accumulating program.
Mm-hmm.
It's like ammo. If you bought a box of ammo each week or every 2 weeks, and silver coin every 2 weeks.
Exactly, Rick. Just the same, just a consistent program just builds up your levels, and you don't get the best price, you don't get the worst price, but you get a good average.
5 years from now, you'd be like, holy shit.
Back when I first bought my first AR-15, you could get 500 rounds of. I bought 500 rounds of reloaded ammunition from Georgia Arms. 500 rounds was $70.
Nice.
Man,
see, and that's what sucks is, I mean, obviously if you could know the future, but like right now you go and you buy a box of whatever ammo, right? And you're like, God, $12 or whatever. Oh shit, man, shit. But 10 years from now, it's going to be $22, and you're like, fuck, I wish I would have bought a bunch at $12.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just want to mention one more thing to Blue, and for those of you that wonder generally about investing and things, is if you're buying something and it's a very dull market that's not moving much, that's a very good thing. You know, if things are quiet and stable for a very long period of time, they tend to be the markets that when they go big and they go for a long period of time. Okay? But if you're thinking about investing in something that everybody's talking about, you're going to get screwed. You're going to get your head handed to you. So markets that people aren't talking about, that aren't really passionate about, and I would put silver in that category right now. There's not a lot of people rushing out to buy silver and gold. There's just the usual core, but that's a very good thing. But there's going to come a day where everybody and his mother is going to want to get probably run out and get that kind of shit. Those are the days you want to let that stuff go at that point in time and get other valuable things for that. But I'm just saying, for right now, it's not an over speculated market, Blue. You know what I mean? It's a very quiet, dull market, which means it has very good support underneath of it. It's got very little downside. Now, that's not to say it can't break if the market, market crashes. It could tank a few dollars on all the general pandemonium and selling, but I wouldn't be surprised if it bounced right back up again and went right back to its level.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember, long-term quiet markets are always the best ones, best values, smallest chance of getting screwed on those kind of markets with nobody's talking about.
Okay.
Physical assets. I just went and grabbed this just because the sticker's still on it. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
223.
55 grain. Yep.
55 grain. 500 rounds was $70 fucking.
Wow.
But see, that was normal, right, TR? So you bought one.
Yeah, I mean, if I'd have known back in the day, hell, I'd have been buying the shit out of it.
Exactly.
Because, you know, that's $150, $200. I mean, that was brass ammo. That wasn't steel. That was brass ammo with, you know, $70. That's what it was in 2002, 2001.
Man, that's unbelievable.
That's when I bought that. I bought my first AR-15 in 2002, I think, right after 9/11. That's when I bought my first AR-15 because I was like, they're going to ban these son of bitches. Let me go ahead and get one.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a Colt H-bar. Was my first AR-15. I don't have it anymore, but anyway.
Yeah.
I believe in physical assets. I believe in silver, gold, ammo, food. I don't have any stocks. I don't have 401k. I don't have any of that. My 401k is my guns.
There's a perfect case in point of something that's just been rising since election day, almost straight up. There's not, you know, it's not the market that you want to buy unless you're an extreme speculator, because it's had such a long run and it's, you know, it's had such a long play. There's not the value there. There's not the sustainability.
$7 Silver Eagles. Yeah, see.
Yeah, I think back in 2005, I was buying thousands of dollars of face value of silver coins, and it was only like silver was the equivalent of $5 an ounce then. I mean, they're practically giving that shit away to just take that and store it away. I blew out a lot at 17 and came back in for some more. Didn't see the rise to 50 or whatever, but it'll see that again.
Yeah.
I still say that's the best thing to have, is that pre-1965 quarters, dimes, and half dollars.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what they consider junk silver, the silver coins from pre-64. I think that's the best investment you can do. That, maybe ammo, guns. Right now, I have never seen AR-15s as cheap as they are right now. Oh my
Greg's
God!
Greg's got a good question for you on the side, TR.
Okay, wait a minute. I seen it and it went past.
You sell it to him in a bucket of parts, so he has to build it all. Give me time to shoot his ass. That's what I would do.
If you can put it together,
There you go.
Okay.
TR,
straight up question.
They'll love
I know you invest in
Greg.
guns.
They'll be sneaking into your compound at night with the
I know you
garage.
invest in guns, but would you use them for barter? What I mean is, would you arm people that you know where you live? No, I wouldn't arm anybody where I live. Hit the fan, the last thing I would ever give you is guns or ammo.
Yep.
That would be the last thing. When things get hard, but not shit hit the fan, you could sell guns and get what you need. But when the shit hit the fan, if it hits the fan, the last thing I'm going to do is give a gun or fucking ammo away.
Yeah, you need to get through a period of time where everybody recognizes they don't have shit, and then they're kind of at the mercy of the people that do have. You don't want to be smart away early on. Yep.
Yeah, Greg just put out there. If you're smart, you'll sell them the gun. Okay, $600, $1,200, whatever, and then go. But this firing pin here, now that costs about another $500.
Guns are a good investment for now. While things are good, you can turn around and make money. I mean, like all the Mosin Nagant, the Mausers I have. I paid $50 to $75 for the Mausers. I could get $300 for them today. I paid $50 for them. Great investment, but shit hit the fan. No, you're not. I'm not giving you a fucking gun. I might give you a bag of rice or something, but I'm not giving you a gun. I wouldn't give you a box of fucking 22s because you may turn around and try to, fucking take my ass out with it and then take the rest of my shit. So no.
Yeah, you wouldn't be a very smart.
No, you're not getting it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be a very smart prepper if you were doing that.
I might feed you a little bit and say, hey, you watch that hill over there or whatever. But, I know you're not getting guns and ammo from me. If I'd answered the question.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, tough times makes people change a lot. You may think you know somebody, but put them under pressure and stress, and it's a whole new ballgame.
CTR, you could sell a few of those and then get yourself a nice rifle.
I probably could. I got more guns.
TR's not really a rifle guy.
Yeah, but I got more rifles than I got pistols.
There you go.
Actually.
But you do like your shiny wheel guns.
Yeah, I love my shiny wheel guns.
He's a Glock guy.
Fuck you.
No, he's loving his revolvers. That's his new love.
On his Glock, he's even got a little mohawk on the top of it.
I thought that was the rooster. I thought that was the rooster comb on top of the.
When are you gonna get that logo going, TR?
I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to do that probably maybe next week. I'm going to try to do that. Parlusk has a couple of good ones. He sent me.
Yeah, Parlusk made a great one last week.
I think he's right. He sent me a real simple one, that I think might be the best way to go. I think a simple one would be the best way to go. It'd be the cheapest to get little stickers and shit like that made up.
Yeah. If I ever go to a logo, that's pretty much what it's going to be. If I ever have stickers or anything made up, it's going to be very simple and just gets the point across.
Kind of like a circle that says 8 or blue 823 on it.
I think Parlusk is right. Simple is always better. It makes a bigger impact when you can grab it in one view and not try to figure something out.
Well, and if you're doing logos or screen printing or embroidery, way easier.
Yeah,
Kitty
Mr.
has a question.
I bought 5,000 hats, shirts, and stickers, and
I don't have any stickers left.
well, I heard you fucking put them all over fucking Pop's Quest stuff.
No, that's what I need to do.
Oh, there's a shit.
I'll start selling them to him for a shout out. The Kitty was asking if you guys have any advice for someone wanting to buy their first AR.
Buy it now.
You can get an AR for less than $500 right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was saying. I mean, this is the cheapest I've ever seen ARs.
Yeah, because what 4 years ago I think is whenever I got mine, and mine's just that Bushmaster carbine or carbon 15. That's what it is. That fucking thing was like $800. You can go find that shit now for under $5, I think.
Yeah, some things came down, but handguns ain't down.
But if you're looking for an AR just to have an AR, you just want a regular stock one, that's perfect. The guy that goes out and buys one and then wants to put this and that and add this and that, and by the time he's all done, he spends 3 times the price of if he would have just built each piece by himself.
Right.
They might not even have a good functioning weapon either when it's all said and done.
Well, that's an option too.
I don't.
Definitely.
Fucking y'all can.
I'm a big believer. I'm a big believer in stock stuff.
Yeah, I just don't get the fucking deck.
Customization.
TR, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I just don't get decking out the ARs.
No.
I mean, mine's plain Jane, and I guarantee you it shoots the fucking same as your $1,000 fucking AR. Mine is $550, and it will shoot the same fucking group if you can hold it there. I did spend $300 on a scope on one of mine, but that was a scope. But as far as handguard, it's still the same fucking stock handguard, stock fucking, butt on it. That shit don't make it shoot any better. It don't.
No,
not the
same.
Could make it work. Could make it worse.
AR you get. Terry, I will disagree with you just on that one thing, because that carbon 15 I got, I realize it's a Bushmaster, so it's like I don't want to say bottom line, but it's the standard. You know what I mean? It's what most people can afford. But the stock on that thing, I swear to Christ, the original one was like 2.5 fucking inches, and my face was so low trying to get into the sight picture, and I went with I think it's an ATI stock on that thing, and with a cheek guard. I think really that's like the best investment I could ever made for that gun. And there again, though, if I would have bought an AR that was just a little bit more money, I would have had that all in the package. I mean, it's I did which I can admit this now. I did a panic buy.
Oh yeah.
Well, you weren't alone. So
now the last AR I bought was during the scare. It took about 9 months before I got it.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it was about 2008, but it was bought and paid for. And when I got it, I got it.
It's
What happened?
actually saying it was both. It was it had a wrap on it. And it had something else. But it said both. Riser. Actually, did it say riser and cheat guard, or did it say riser / cheat guard? I don't. But the bottom line is I ended up paying, I think, almost $90 for the 6-position stock with the buffer tube, and it came with a different grip to put on the bottom. But if I would have spent just that, let's say that was $90, I think that's what I paid for it. If I would have paid $50 more on the original rifle, it would have already come with that. So just don't do what I did and do a panic buy and just you know what I mean? Just, oh shit, I got to get this, and just pick up the first one, because in order to actually make it functional, you're gonna have a lot more money into it.
For the most part, it depends what you're doing. If you want a car that can go from point A to point B, and you don't care how fast you get there, you don't care what it looks like, they'll all work. If you need to get from point A to point B, but you need to get there twice as fast as the other guy, then you got to do some stuff to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this is, honest to God, this just fucking happened today. Most of you guys know that I work in an area, it's rural, and then we have like little villages, which is like major residential areas. It's 43 square miles. However, I'm just driving down the road, and this fucking beat up piece of shit car goes off the road up through what we call, it's a gravel pit. I don't know if you guys have these in your area, but it's where people scoop up the earth and they get like gravel and stuff, and they tumble it and do whatever for driveways and stuff like that. And it's a pretty big acreage area. Well, this car, I know it didn't see me, but it was just like vroom, vroom, like hopping up over all these hills and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it was a piece of shit car. So I'm calling on the radio to our dispatch. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be out with a vehicle. It's a green. I think it was a Ford Escort or something like that. And I was like, I don't know what the registration is. I was like, it just went bouncing through the gravel pit. I'm going to check and see what they're doing. So I pull up, and as I'm pulling up, there's this kid. I mean, he's probably 19, 20-ish, maybe a little older than that. I would go from 19 to 25. And as I come up over the fucking crest of the hill, he's pulling out this fucking rifle out of his back seat.
Ooh.
Big city. Guess what? That's a fucking slam on the brakes, jump out of the car, and bam, 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 you're dead.
Yeah.
But I had that feeling. I was like, oh, fuck. And as he's pulling the rifle out, he looks back.
That's pretty fucking scary.
Oh, yeah, but he does. He's pulling this rifle out of the back of the fucking car, and he turns over, because, of course, I'm coming up, so he hears me. And he looks over his shoulder, and he actually, I mean, I didn't hear him, but you could see him mouth, oh, fuck. And he puts the rifle back into the car, comes back out, and puts his hands up, and he starts walking toward me. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, oh, I just come up here to do some shooting and stuff, and I just put a new trigger job in the rifle. I'm like, well, what are you shooting? And I don't remember what he said, but he's like, oh, this is what I'm shooting and everything else. He's like, you want to see it? I'm like, fuck yes, I want to see that. So I get out of the car and fucking walk up. He pulls the rifle out. I'm fucking looking at it. I don't remember what the hell it was, but he's like, oh yeah. He's like, everything was stock, but I put the floater rail on it. He's like, oh, and I just put this great trigger job on it. He's like, squeeze one off. I'm like, what? He's like, fuck, squeeze one off. He's like, go ahead. And he hands me his fucking mag. So I'm fucking sitting there in uniform with this dude's fucking rifle. Put one in. I'm like, bam, 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 bam. I'm like, wow, it's nice. And I fucking, I pulled the mag out, handed it to him, ejected the round, handed it to him. Like, dude, that's nice. I'm like, do you have permission to be here to do this? I was like, because this is private land. And he did the whole, this is my dad does a lot of work for these guys and everything else, and I don't technically have permission to be here, but they know I do it. I'm like, all right, good enough. And I just fucking drove away. But I mean, that's the difference between the area I work in and big city.
Yeah. It's funny you're talking about cars and shit. So I'm going to lunch, right? And I'm in my Chiefs vehicle. I'm cruising down the road. It's a 2-lane. And this guy on a motorcycle, he's like, ring, 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 you know, making this shit. He's at the light, and I'm at the light. And he's on the left of me. He leaves, and he's doing a wheelie. Ring, right? I'm thinking, all right, whatever. That's cool. So I get to the next light, and I was going to tell him, like, I'm like, man, you know, be careful on that thing, right? And I didn't even get that out. I roll the window down, and we're parked. And as the window's coming down, I'm getting ready to say something to him, and he stalls it out. And I just start fucking busting up. The guy probably said, like, what a dick. He probably thought I was a big dick, but I was like, hey, man, you're showing off being all badass, and then you fucking stall it at the light.
Oh, yeah, what a fucking embarrassment.
Jackass.
Shit. Yeah, Rob, you wouldn't want to miss that, you know.
But you know, it's not that I know I've never told this story to you guys, but the one village, which, like I said, it's residential area. These people live on, I mean, like the village streets and everything. They were on the
Those are called tracts, right? What the hell's this village shit?
Well,
Shires, aren't they? Shires in Pennsylvania?
No, we have the villages. The village of this place, the village of, we have 5 villages within our area, within the borough. But oh man, and it was bad timing because the city is right outside of our jurisdiction. Like we butt right up against it, and they had 3 drive-by shootings. So these guys are up in our area, in the village, last fucking road, and there are woods, mountains, everything else. And they're out there, they are just blasting the shit out of stuff. Well, the people in the city are so worried about these drive-bys, they call in, you know, shots being fired, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, God damn it. I've never been to this house. I don't know who these people are. So of course you're a little, you know, nervous and everything. But like I barely pull up the driveway, and it's a long ass driveway. And I pull up, and I can just barely see them. There's 3 or was there 4? No, there's 3. There's 3 guys, and they're just fucking blasting the shit. AR-15s, all of them. Bam, 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 bam. And they're shooting it into a fucking side of a hill. So I was like, well, huh. And I'm sitting there, and I was like, they don't know I'm here yet. So I was like, fuck it. Put my magic finger on the fucking air horn button. And I'm like, burm, burm, burm. They all fucking turn around. You see them. They all look down at the ground, shake their fucking head, take their fucking slings off, and put the rifles in the back of a fucking SUV. I pull up. Well, here, the one guy has his cousin. No, not cousin. It's like a brother and nephew that moved to Russia. So the nephew only fucking speaks Russian. And they all start walking toward me. And dude, they're fucking scared. I mean, the Russians were really, really scared. But I was like, hey, what's going on? Oh, we're just out here doing shooting. You know, they came out here, and I figured I'd show them what these were, because I don't know what the laws are in Russia. But by the time I got done talking to these guys, they're like, hey, can we get a picture with these ARs with you in the middle of it, just to, you know, so we can take them back to Russia and show the difference between the cultures. I'm like, yep, yes, you can. It was just, you know, I mean, it's so much different, you know, big city. I mean, Christ, if that would have been a big city deal, you would have had fucking SWAT there. You would have had fucking probably somebody dead.
In the big city, they would have been actually shooting at something.
Oh, they were just shooting at targets in the side of the hill. And that's the one thing. I mean, I have never, ever given anybody shit about that, but yeah, we have higher ups that, which actually one other time in a different village that we cover, same scenario, the outskirts, they had a nice trench built. They had nice high banks. They were shooting fucking shotguns at milk jugs, and somebody called in, shots fired. It's like, fuck. Because, you know, just a week ago, we had some guy strung out on meth who was running through a fucking cemetery with a machete, killing demons. So you don't really know what you're getting into. But
yeah. I love your job, Blue.
Small area. I was like, who owns the house? So, you know, I asked dispatch, who owns the house? Because we can pull it up on maps. And
why couldn't you get that on video at the cemetery?
oh, yeah, that would never be fucking released.
You got so many viral vid opportunities.
Oh hell yes. Yeah, if I would not get in trouble for releasing the stuff I'd be doing it every day. But we go up and over the scanner, I'm like, who, or over the radio, I'm like, who owns these, or who owns the house? And they give the name, and we have our station run the name to see if we have any contact numbers. My fucking cell phone rings. Hey, I'm listening to the scanner. I know who that is. This is the owner of the house. This is her cell phone number from one of my friends. I'm like, okay. So I call the lady up, like, hey, it's Lieutenant Ash, blah, blah, blah. Nope. I just said my name, but anyway. I was like, we had reports of shots being fired. We need to make sure that everything's okay. And she's like, well, I'm in the house sleeping, and I know the boys were outside shooting and everything, but, is this, what's going on? I'm like, well, we have a small army located about 2 blocks from your premises, and we need to check because of this. And oh my God, they were scared. I mean, they were scared shitless, and they were doing nothing other than what we all do, go out and target practice. And it was like, I got a lot of flack from government officials that cover that area that wanted them arrested, cited, charged with anything. They didn't care what it was. They wanted them charged, and I refused to do it. I was like, no. I went up, I inspected their shooting range, whatever. It's the safest thing ever. They have, they're standing with, 5-foot banks on the side with a 10-foot, which climbs up to a 10-foot bank in the front, and they're shooting shotguns. You tell me where they're violating something. And it's like,
good job, Blue.
Yep. Good, man. I'm still back on the demons in the graveyard.
oh man, that guy, oh my God. Well, and the thing is, after he got out of the hospital, it was probably a week later, maybe 2 weeks later, he was running out in the middle of our 4-lane, quote unquote, interstate, just fucking running back naked as a fucking jaybird. It's like, those are the people that should be. I'm not saying that
they think California has all the fucking weirdos. Oh shit!
All right.
Every once in a while, one will escape and find another state.
There we go. We make it to North Carolina.
That's right. I made it. Of course, I ship myself back every freaking month.
My new girl Sonia said Rosie looks good in her white shirt. She sure is sharing tonight.
Thank you, Sonia.
No, actually, know what that means in girl terms? TR, get off the chat. You're in trouble.
It's been a good chat tonight.
No,
I think that means if there's a spray bottle of water around.
Oh, we got to treat TR like a cat, like.
No.
No, Sonia really likes Rosie.
Yeah, she's a nice gal. I enjoyed a little bit of videos you did down there. It was nice. I don't know about your sound, but I enjoyed the fucking videos. And it was
The
nice.
first one sucked.
Yeah, but you'll be back again. So it'll be good.
She's actually looking at some property down here, so.
Oh, wow.
I like that one video where it's all, you can see a new car in the driveway, and you're all, I was like, yeah, I have a visitor or something.
Good night, JB.
Yes, you did, dumbass.
Yeah, you did. We just let it slide
and we would have kept letting it slide, but somebody decided to say more about something.
It slur it, so they won't be able to fucking understand what it was.
And you only said the first part, anyways.
All right.
Big dumb.
You said it, and I didn't even understand it, so you're good.
Y'all, very
You know what it is.
There's really a place in Nashville called Pound Town.
Downtown,
baby.
Yeah, Blue's gonna drive through there on his way to South Cracky.
Yeah, next time you go, TR, we need more video.
Yeah, I need to do that. Please she'll let me come up there next month, and I'll get some more video of some places. So.
Brown chicka wow wow. Oh, it's getting toward the end of the night, and we're just saying shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up. I try to wrap it up around 11:30 every night. I don't have to go to work tomorrow, but it don't matter. I try to, kind of keep a timestamp there. So let's wrap this up. Blue, do you have anything you want to say? Anything going on?
No, it was a great chat as always. I mean, the last 2 weeks, I mean, we've kind of been like, tonight was a lot of serious chat with a little bit of fun. Last week was kind of the opposite. It was a lot of fun with serious. I mean, it was like a 50-50. And I think that this was another great chat with everybody. So Rosie, Rob, I keep doing that, Rick, and TR, stab you in the face. But it was a good time. As always, you guys in the side chat kick ass, and we'll catch you the next time.
Yep, I agree. Good chat. I think to have no subject matter we wanted to talk about, we actually covered some really serious stuff. So that was pretty cool. Rick, is your six covered? California, North Carolina friend.
Every time you say that, cracks me up. I always think of Red October, how much he enjoys listening. Do you say that? No, I've got quite a few videos out. Take a look at them. If you haven't subscribed, get your ass over there. Hit the subscribe button. But other than that, thanks for showing up and supporting the channel. And no TR and Rosie and Blue and myself enjoyed chatting with you guys out there in the external. So take care.
Rosie, would you like to do outro and talk about anything?
Yeah, I think it was a great chat tonight. I really enjoyed the side chat. There's people that are hungry for hearing something besides just the latest news bite. And the thing I liked about the last 2 weeks is we got down to some of the philosophical roots of some of these problems that we have. And I think that's important if we're going to get things right in this country. We have to understand where it really went off the rails. And I think we realize how we're going to have a period of ugliness if we're going to get this stuff right. And that's a good thing to know. And it's a good reason why we prep and stuff like that. So I learn a lot every time I come on. Trust me. I think I'm a better prepper because of the chats. And I always enjoy seeing Blue and Rick, and of course, stay safe. And TR, always good to see you too. So thank you.
Cool.
Well, thanks for being on, Rosie. I do appreciate you being on here. You are a big part of this chat. You are definitely a big part of this chat, and everybody appreciates your. They hate it when you're not here, but I know, life happens. Sometimes you're not here, but for the most part, you're here. And every once in a while, hell, even I ain't here, I guess. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming out. And just, hey, Sonia, just in case she's watching. And I'll see y'all next time. And next Sunday and next week, Tuesday night, we'll be back here again. So later, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us.